All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's check this out. It's been sitting about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Well, shoot. That was on there pretty good. Let's see what comes off by hand. I'm just rubbing it by hand. I want to see. It's coming off pretty easily. Oh yeah, that's 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'll leave it in there just a little longer. I like it. This one didn't have a whole lot of rust on it. Really cleaned up pretty easily. This has got a painted finish on it, I think. I think this is paint. That's what it looks like silver paint. And then it's got varnish. That's varnish on there. It's like whoever clamped it together with something got varnish on it. All right. Well, seems to be working. Leave it in here for a couple more hours and then take them out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to take these out. I can see a little bubbling still. The top one is done. There's no rust really to speak of. There wasn't much rust on it to begin with. There is a little bit of, I don't know if that's rust or paint. I think that might be paint. I think that is paint. But anyways, I'm gonna soak them in some water because I don't know if the chemical still keeps working like, yeah, see, it wipes off. You literally with my finger. So, yeah. That's good. It's coming off really easy. So I'm sold on this chemical bath that I've got here. That's a sharp point right there. Anyways, you can smell the metal. You can smell it. It has an odor where it's dirty smelling. I think this had a paint on it at one time. Yeah, that's paint. It must have been painted a gray. Oh, dummy, it was painted gray. Anyways, I'm going to rinse these off and pat them dry and then run them over the wire wheel. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy how this chemical works. And like I said, I don't know if you need to rinse it, but I am rinsing it because it just makes sense that the chemical will still work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting back to working on these files, on these clamps. And this is the Wilton. And all I'm gonna do is I'm cleaning off any residual oils because I coated it with WD because I had to work. So it's been sitting for like 5 days. I didn't want it to rust. So I'm gonna clean it off with some carb cleaner and then go over to the wire wheel and give it a good wheeling. This one I think I'm gonna blue. I'm gonna make this one look nice. This one came out pretty good. I wiped it down with some carb cleaner already, and it's got some red paint there. I thought it was rust, but all in all, it's in good shape. It's a Fuller tool, made in Japan, and I really like Fuller. I know some people don't like foreign tools, but Fuller Tool's always been a very good brand, good quality. So when I find them, I buy them. Anything Fuller, I don't care. I know there's some Fuller tools. I don't know if they're made in England or if there was a plant in England, or I'm not sure, but I have found in the past some from England. That's what I'm finding on these, is like an not epoxy, but clear coat, a shellac. So somebody used this for woodworking, I think. Yeah, but anyways, let me finish cleaning this up, take it to the wire wheel, and it's got a weld splatter, or I don't know, that looks like a weld splatter. But I'm gonna file that off, get that off of there. It's sharp. Anyways, let's go to the wire wheel, clean it some more. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I wire wheeled it, cleaned it up real good. Now I'm just going to wipe it down with some carb cleaner before I blew it. I'm just going to give it a good cleaning. Just so I don't have, it's better if you clean it. See, the black comes off before you blew it. Clean it the best you can. And I'm really not worried about oils in my fingers because there's probably none left. After all the carburetor cleaner I've used today, I'm not really worried about it. And yeah, I know I should be wearing gloves. Somebody's gonna say something, but you know what? My tools, my rules, I do it the way I want. Your house, you do it the way you want. Am I showing someone a bad habit? Probably, but they more than likely have a bad habit anyway, so no big deal. Yeah, look, see the black coming off. And really, it doesn't need to be blued. I know somebody out there is going to say, you know, why? Why don't you just spray paint it or, you know, something like that? Because I want to. I want it to look good. Clean tool. This may go to work with me once in a while. And in the facility I work at, you want your tools as clean as possible, depending on where you're at in the facility. And somebody's going to say, why would you need something like this in the medical field? Well, you'd be surprised what you need. If you've ever held down an x-ray tube, some of that equipment has very, very heavy duty springs on it, and sometimes you just need to hold things down, and this is part of it. So look at that. See that trash coming out of there? I don't know what these things, I don't have to look these up. I don't think Wilton still makes, I don't know if they still make tools in US. I know the last couple vices that I've come across, they were made overseas. In our boiler room shop, we have an old Wilton vise. And I know it's at least 36 years old because that's how long I've been there, and it was old when I came to work there, so no telling how old that old vise is. That thing's been beat up over the years. You could almost you could almost give this a coat of shellac or lacquer and just leave it like this. It'd look pretty cool, I think. But I'm gonna blue it. I like the bluing. It just, for me, that works. All right, let me keep wiping this down because I'm still getting a lot of black off of it. There's still a lot of trash on here. The Acme thread is gonna be the hardest part to clean. Probably use a brass brush on it when I go to blue it. All right, you know, let me keep doing this. I'll be back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and blue it. This is the bluing I use. I pour a little in a condiment cup. Couple reasons I use condiment cups. One, you don't want to dip into your bottle because you contaminate the whole bottle. And two, if I spill it, I only spill a little bit. Three, if you use a cotton or cloth, it absorbs so much that you wind up wasting it. So I find that I like to use a little artist brush. This one's, I don't know what, I think there's different widths. But this size I use, it's the same brush. I use the same one over and over for bluing, and oh, it's taking good color. Look at that. That's how I do it. I know a lot of you guys have watched my video, but there's new people, so I treat all my videos as that it's all new viewers. Look how that bluing takes. I like bluing. I mean, you could paint your tools, or you can paint your clamps, or you can paint whatever you want, but I do this because the bluing gives the tool protection. It's not it's not rust proof, but it keeps them from getting damaged from water and rusting. But then again, unlike majority of the people, my tools are cleaned after use. It's just the tools for me, and I've said this before, it makes me a living. It makes me money or saves me money, so I don't abuse my tools. That's just a no-no. I was taught that your tools are your livelihood, so why would you want to damage them? You guys that put your tools in 5-gallon buckets and let them sit in the back of your vehicles and get rained on, I don't feel for you. I'm glad you got the money to go buy tools whenever you want. I'd rather buy T-bone and sirloins and porterhouse. Put my money somewhere where it matters. But these tools, you know, this just gives it an added protection, bluing it like this. And I have the time. It's not hurting me. I don't watch much television, so most of the time I'm working. And usually if I'm idle, I think about what things I got coming up ahead, so doing this keeps me from going crazy with all the stuff I have to do. Whoa. Yeah, look at that. It's taking color really well. I still haven't looked these up. I'm pretty sure these things are kind of expensive now. Yeah, I can't. I knew I'd missed some spots. I may have to do 2 coats on this just because I know I'm missing spots and I can't see them all. You know what? I just thought of something. I don't think I cleaned this part really well. It's not taking color on the foot here. I may have to re-clean this piece. I don't know if you guys can see it, but let's see. It's not taking color real well right there. Look at that. I may have screwed up on that part. See what I mean by contaminating? Oh, there. See how it's not bright blue like it was? All right, let's add a little more to the cup. Yeah, that stuff that was in there is getting contaminated. Ah! There, it's finally starting to take color there. Oh yeah, looking good. This ought to look pretty nice when I'm done. This is actually taking longer than some of the other things I've blued. Whoops, back out. I mean, this is probably an overkill. Most, you know, tools like this, most people abuse them. They use them to weld with. They beat on them. Usually the foot's broken on them. Normally, I don't do that to my tools. I do have some that I've bought that I will weld with just because they were already so abused that I didn't bother even trying to take care of them. I just left them the way they are because they're already abused to the point where I don't think they're really salvageable. All right. Man, I got a mess here. You're supposed to let this sit for 60 seconds and wipe dry in one pass. The problem is it's very hard to wipe dry in one pass. Every once in a while I see a spot where I missed, but didn't take color. All right. All right, let me finish wiping this down, and I'll come back and we'll steel wool it. All right, first thing I'm gonna do, see how uneven the color is? What I'm gonna do on the turn, the Acme thread, I guess you wanna call it, I'm gonna see how it's got a different discoloration in there. Light brass brush, take care of that. back out. Let's do this part. Doesn't need much. Got to be careful. The brass brush will take a lot of the color off if you do too much. So just lightly brush it off. And you can see in spots there where I missed. You can see the mist where I missed the bluing. All right, now 4/0 steel wool. That's what I'm using. Brass brush, I'm using it in spots where I can't easily get the steel steel wool in. Make sure the leathering's good. That's pretty good right there, ladies and gentlemen. Check that out. Now, if you look real close, you can see where I missed spots. Here, let's see if you can see them. See in the threads there? Down in there, you can see where I missed some bluing in there. The bluing took really well on this. It's kind of a sheen black. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to coat this with some oil. Old used motor oil. Just came out of my pickup truck when I changed the oil, so I'm just going to coat it with this oil. It has the acidic properties, I guess is how it's pronounced, or how you say it. The acids in the oil react to the bluing, and it will darken it. Actually looks pretty cool. It gives it a sheen. The warmer it is, the better. The sun's out today, so I'm going to be able to set this outside and let it set in the sun. It's gonna get warm today, so when I say warm, it'll be in the 70s. for a change. And in the sun, this will help evaporate some of the oil and make it, warmer. I don't know exactly what it does. All I do know is that it seems to make it darker. And won't hurt the threads any either, for that matter, I guess. Yeah, it's got good and coated. Nasty. My hands are nasty now. But like I said, I'll leave this all afternoon. Let's see, it's about noon now, somewhere around noon. So probably around 5:30, 6 o'clock tonight, I'll take this and wipe it off and dry it up real good. And it should have a good color to it. All right, I'll be back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, started raining. So can't let this sit outside for 4, 5, 6 hours like I wanted to. Rain came early. So I'll just wipe it down, call it good. I don't know, it seems that if you leave the oil on there and let it sit in the sun, I could take it to work and set it by the boiler. I'm not gonna have time. So we'll just call it quits here. Stupid rain. I don't mind the rain. I wish it'd rain when I'm asleep at night, not when I got things I gotta do. I like these blue towels that I got here. These things absorb pretty good. Oh, this thing is so smooth now. I like it. Oh, this thing is awesome. I'm sure most of you probably don't use anything like this, but before I go, I want to see what this sells for. All right, it's a 403 Wilton, USA, and going by what I saw online, 31 bucks for that thing. Holy smokes! I'm amazed at how expensive this thing is. Anyways. The bluing took real well. You can see look, I missed a spot under there. There's a few spots like I missed right there. I probably should do another coat. Should have done another coat, but it's all right. Probably this won't go to work. This will stay here at the house. And also this one, I didn't do much with this one except just clean it off. Got the rust off of it. It's Japanese made. It's a Fuller tool, 2.5 inch. I like Fuller tools, so if I find anything marked Fuller, I buy it just because I've always had, when I was a kid, my dad liked Fuller tools. He was happy to find any old Fuller tools because back then Fuller was a cheap Japanese brand that you could pick up pretty inexpensive, and we had a bunch of them, so I'm the same way. I pick up Fuller. I know it's a decent quality. It's not the best, but it's a very good usable tool. And I got, let's face it, I got less than 51 cents or around there in each. So I got just over $1 in these two. And this one looks really good now, except for a couple of bluing spots that I missed. The sheen that oil leaves, it darkens it, but I wish I could have left it longer in the sun. It would last longer. But oh well. It is what it is. It's raining. Nothing I can do about that. 2 good useful tools brought back from, you know, rusty old junk's what it looked like in the beginning. And probably should have blued this one, but I don't know. It's got the original gray on it. I don't mind it. This one was rusted pretty good, so, and it being a Wilton, there might as well give it a good, you know, good cleanup. Wilton tools are known for good products, and good example right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think. You like it? That homemade rust remover worked pretty good. I think it did a good job, and now I got some good tools. I cleaned them up. Nothing wrong. Give me thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe if you like. Bringing old tools back to good usable condition, and I think here's another example of that. All right, guys, I'm gonna go inside, make some more tea. I'm done for the day. It's raining too much.